Hi, how are you? My name is Matthew Wilson. I'm glad you're here. I am a manager here at Equis Financial. And what we're going to do is just go over a brief overview about the opportunity with us as a life insurance agent. So hopefully that's why you're here. You're maybe checking this out. Maybe you saw an ad, maybe a friend sent you over, but we are aggressively looking for independent life insurance agents to train those that need to get contracted and licensed and all that stuff to start up a business from your home selling. And a lot of times it's just virtual, like what I do here. So with that, let's jump in. I've got a lot of stuff to cover. I'm going to just share my screen really quick with you. And I am going to just warn you or tell you a little bit. I am not a big fan of fluff. So I'm going to cut right to the chase. Okay. This isn't a fancy schmancy sales pitch. I don't know how to be that way. I'm going to be honest, and this is what it is: the good, the bad, the ugly, all of it. Okay. So this is the overview. And before I jump in, though, I want you to know a little bit about me. Because if you went back about 10 or 15 years, you're going to see how I felt because I was working a job, and you can see my office up there in the corner. This is how I felt going into work every day. I took this funny picture, but it's symbolic of this time of my life, which represented my ceiling of my income. I couldn't make any more than, no matter how hard I worked. I worked for a boss who was making a lot of money, and I didn't have my freedom. I had to ask for time off. I had to, I had a certain number of sick days. I don't know if you can relate, but it was about my freedom. So while I was still at my job, that is how I felt. And I longed, I yearned for my freedom. And I tried a lot of different things over the years, never had a lot of extra time, didn't want to go back to school, didn't have a lot of extra money to invest into businesses. So I kept going, and that's all I could do. Supporting a family, wife, five kids, a mortgage, one income. It was all on me. So I had to make it work. And I didn't go seeking out life insurance. Okay. I don't know that anybody does. In fact, I'm pretty positive there's no kid that says, I want to be a life insurance agent when I grow up. Police officer, firefighter, perhaps, yes, but I don't think life insurance makes the cut. I think with most people, life insurance finds them, which is really interesting. And that's how it was with me. I wasn't looking specifically for this, but what I was looking for, life insurance checked all the boxes. So I was pretty excited. I'm like, you know what? Let's give this a shot. What do I have to lose? Very low risk, not a lot of money. Don't need a fancy degree. I got my license in less than 2 weeks and off and running. So, all right, let's give it a shot. And guess what? 6 months later, I was faced with a big choice. Do I turn in my notice and quit my job and go full time? Or do I stay the track and only keep a certain amount of income from my life insurance side hustle? So things had gone pretty well, but they had capped, and I only had so many hours in a day. And what occurred to me was this: the most dangerous risk of all is not doing something, is not taking an action that I felt like I should take. I knew that if I left my job, I had a lot more time and I could really build my business. But everything was on me, and I'd never been a business owner supporting my family on a 1099 income, which, by the way, if you're looking for a W-2 job, this is not the place. We are business owners, entrepreneurs. We're 1099 independent contracted agents, and we make money on commissions. So if that scares you, I want to let you know up front. And it scared me, trust me. I had been a W-2 paycheck guy all my life, but I realized I don't want to get to the end of my life and look back and wish I had taken more risk, more chance. Because what you get in the end, if you don't take some calculated risk, is a plate of mediocrity. And I didn't want that. So I knew, actually, after I studied this, it occurred to me that the risk of staying is greater than the risk of leaving. So there's risk on both sides of the fence. You can't get away from it. Staying at my job is a risk because they can fire me anytime. I'm only going to make so much. I kind of know about what my lifestyle is going to be the rest of my life. That is a trade-off. Over here, I had risk of failure, of course, but potential upside. So risk on both sides. To me, I liked this risk, and that's the realization that I had, which garnered up enough courage for me to walk into the office July of 2019 and turn in my notice. So 4.5 years later, almost 5 years, I am a full-time agent still today, growing. Our business has gone like this, but all in all, it's been better and better every year. And I'm here to tell you about what it's like being a virtual life insurance agent, going all the way back from the beginning when I very first started, those early months, to all the way up to today. So if you're thinking about this and you have some kind of a dream of doing something, maybe more with your life, I can completely relate. That's where I was about 5 years ago. So hopefully this will help give you some clarity or some answers. So here's what we're going to go over. We're going to talk about our products, the market, the tools, the leads, business model, and getting started. Okay. A couple of these sections are pretty brief. I'm just going to kind of breeze through them. So likely at the end, you'll have some questions because I'm not going to be very thorough on everything here because you'll have some questions, and that's an appropriate time for you to get on the phone with somebody and get the rest of your answers so you can decide if this is an opportunity that would be a good fit for you. Okay. First of all, who we are. As independent agents at Equis Financial, we are CEOs of our own company. That's very important. I think I made that point earlier. Fastest growing, I don't know if it's everybody, but one of the fastest growing IMOs in insurance marketing organizations, Equis Financial. Okay. We have hundreds and hundreds of agents all across the country, and just we're expanding our pool of products and our carriers and our services. Every year it gets better and better. So we are fast growing. National business model. We're contracted with some of the largest folks in the world in the insurance space. These are a lot of them. You might recognize some of these names. These are household brands. It's pretty cool that from my own office here in my house, I get to represent these people when I am talking to a client. And I get to tell them, yeah, you've heard of Mutual of Omaha? Oh, Mutual of Omaha, it's like 150 years old. Yes, that's the company I represent. Perfect. So it gives you credibility. But these are the folks, there's more of them now, and they are all amazing. They're A-rated carriers, been around a long time. You need to know about our values. Okay. If you don't align with these values, you're probably not going to be a good fit here culturally to work with us. These are the things that are most important to us: respect, ownership, relationships, humility, attitude, and toughness. All things that are essential in business. These are the characteristics we look for when we're bringing on a new agent. Okay. Just so you know, our values run deep. So I wanted to share those with you. This is our market. Okay. In a nutshell, what we do is we distribute insurance products, financial products through life insurance in a multi-trillion-dollar industry. Okay. One of the largest industries in the world that help middle income Americans, that's our target market, with burdens associated with death, sickness, debt, and retirement. And yes, we handle all those categories. So there's a lot you may not know about life insurance and a lot that might surprise you as you get your license and see what you can do to help families, your neighbor, your friends, okay, and leads. And we'll talk about all those in a second. But first, let's finish up this thought. So here's our market. See if you can wrap your mind around this. 43% of Americans have no life insurance. 18% have a group plan only, which is kind of the same as not having life insurance. It's about as good. So what that means is there are 106 million Americans who lack life insurance or adequate coverage. The need gap is more than double what it was 12 years ago. That tells me we can't even keep up with the need. We can't even break even. We're losing ground every year. Do we need life insurance agents? Oh my goodness, like never before. Do we need everybody? No, we don't want everybody because some people aren't cut out for this, frankly. So, so yes, we need, and the opportunity is unprecedented because there is so much need in the United States for people to have these products. Okay. So with that, let's talk about some of the tools that are available to us as life insurance agents to help us get our job done. Okay, I'm going to go through these kind of quick. First of all, there's a dashboard. Equis has invested millions into this. We get it no cost. Okay, this just helps us. I live in this every day. This helps me run reports. I can keep track of my team, all my production. And trust me, there's a lot there. I'm not going to go through it. Leaderboard. Okay, if you scroll down, there's a leaderboard. Nationally, you can see how everybody's doing, all their numbers that they're submitting. It's a little friendly competition, but as transparent a business as I've ever seen. When was the last time you worked next to a coworker and you knew exactly their income and their benefits and everything? compared to yours. Here, it's all transparent. We know exactly what each other is doing, and it's all shared. So that can be incentive, and it also gives you hope. Like, gosh, that guy can do it. I can do it. Okay. And we're a family. We help each other get to whatever level we want to get to. One note, if you're seeing numbers, I blurred them out for FTC regulation purposes, but APV stands for annualized premium value, not income. These are not income numbers, they're APV. I'll explain that in a couple of slides or so. So that's the dashboard. That's the first tool. And next tool is the Ethos platform. Okay, this is really cool. Ethos isn't a carrier, they're a tech platform, but you have your own landing page. Okay, it has your name on it, not mine. Mine says Matthew Wilson, but you can share that once you get up and running with us. You can share that with your friends and see that orange button. They can click on that and they can get rates and quotes, and then they can enroll in life insurance. And guess what Ethos does when they do? They pay you a commission. So you can share this however you want, makes it super convenient for people, and you're getting paid to do it. So this is one way that you can do your life insurance business or even work with your other carriers to do your life insurance business. In addition, we have training. Okay, of course, you have to get trained. There's a lot to learn, but most importantly, on how to sell, how to present, how to dial, how to get your leads, all those things to get up and running successfully as an agent. And we have an internal training program. It's on a website called Agent Builder, My Agent Builder, and it's 5 simple steps. All the downloads, everything is there for you. Okay. In addition, once you're up and trained, by the way, you'll work closely with your mentor on all of your appointments. So you're always going to have somebody holding your hand, walking you through the process. Okay. We also have coaching calls, team calls on Zoom. So Mondays, we have trainings in the mornings. Tuesdays and Wednesdays, we have a training session with breakout rooms. So you can go in by topic. On Fridays, we have a coaching call. So you raise your hand, come in the spotlight. I'm stuck somewhere. The team coaches you on how to get unstuck. And then Saturdays, very, very important. A lot of our new agents love these Saturday morning dial sessions. You're listening to somebody, a manager, book their calendar live on speakerphone. Okay, there is no better way to learn than to actually listen to somebody doing it instead of just somebody teaching you about it. So very, very powerful. That's all of our coaching sessions that we have. We also have a team communication platform and several other small tools to help you with always being connected with the team and always being able to get help and mentorship when you need it. All right, let's talk about leads. Without leads, you have no business. Okay, you have to talk to people. These are some of the leads, some examples of leads. These are actual leads. I've just crossed them off, obviously, for privacy reasons, but they come in handwritten or generated with a text, and they're mortgage protection leads, they're life insurance leads. These are people that have taken an action to try and get somebody to call them back and give them some information about a life insurance product, whether it's protecting their mortgage, protecting their family from income or whatever. Sometimes the leads come in on a database. Okay, so leads come from all different directions. These mailers, it can be from social media, it can be from ads, Google ads, a lot of different places. So lead costs can range anywhere from 75 cents on up to $60 on the high end, depending on what type of lead you're working and how it's generated. All those leads dump into this website called Lead Center, and you can select by category. You can see a heat map of the United States. You can find leads in your backyard if you want to schedule appointments, hop in your car and go drive to the house. You'll have a lot of success doing face-to-face appointments. So we actually encourage that if it's possible. But you have access to the whole United States. You just have to get licensed in whatever state you want to work. So you can see all the different types of leads, all the different states. You can sort by lead costs, which is usually associated with the age of the lead, and purchase however many you need to run your business. Now, are leads required? No. Nobody cracks a whip and says you have to buy leads, you have to run a certain number of appointments. Everything here is volunteer. It's a volunteer army. Success is not guaranteed either. So the more you do, the more you put yourself in a position to win. But it's up to you how much you invest in leads and how many appointments you run, or if you even buy leads at all. There's a lot of agents that are good at networking. There's a lot of other ways to generate leads besides purchasing them. So this is just one that makes it super easy and convenient for us as agents. Okay, let's jump into our business model. I want you to understand how we're compensated and what that looks like. First, you have to understand APV. Okay, annualized premium value. Very simple. Somebody buys a policy for $100 a month. Good job, Joe. He protected a family. He's one of our agents. And 12 months of that, 100 times 12, 1,200. So that's annualized premium value, APV. Okay. Very simple so far. Well, Joe's commission level, he may be a brand new agent starting him out at 70%, which is the bottom of the scale on up to 120. I'll show that in a minute as well. But let's say he's making 70% commission. Well, very simple math. If he wrote a Term Life Express product for Mutual of Omaha, the full commission amount would be $840. Okay. Super simple, right? Following 9-month advance. Okay. The carriers will give us an up commission of months of those. Okay. Totaling $630. And then after that, $210 come in months 10, 11, and 12. And we call those back end commissions. So he's getting his full commission. He just doesn't get all of it now. He gets some of it later. And there's a reason for that. Now, the let's take another example because I want to take this to the next level. But well, I'm going to use a national average of $500. It's a little conservative, but it's a number, and not all of your policies are going to be 500. Some are going to be 200. Some are going to be 800. Your commissions will vary, but a national average, we're going to take $500 just for simple math purposes. If you were to get $500 per application, doesn't take an engineer to figure this out. I'm not a math major. I was an art student, but even I can figure out 2 applications a week is about $1,000 of income. 5 apps a week, if I wanted to make closer to 2,500, 10 apps a week would be 5,000. In other words, about 20 grand a month. Okay, so it's some pretty good income. Now, there are agents that do double or triple that just by writing business on their own pen. Now, you have to work hard, you have to hustle, you have to be organized, you have to have some skills to get to that level. But is it possible? Absolutely. People do it every day. There's a lot of agents that do that. So let me show you the comp grid of what I just talked about. So this is your personal production. You've got a producer bonus based on how much you write that month, APV. It's all based on APV. And then your compensation rate goes up as you hit certain levels. So let's say in 1 month, you write 10,000 APV that gets issued and paid, a bonusable premium. You're going to go from 70 to 85%. So now you're making more money for the same amount of work. And then at that same month at 10,000, you'll see down here, you're getting a $200 bonus just because you went out and hustled. So Equis really rewards hustle, and the bonuses come in for certain levels, and they get bigger and bigger the higher you go. Okay, so that is your business 1.0, I call it, because that's you writing business, making sales, and trading time for dollars, right? But if you've ever heard of this gentleman, cash flow quadrant guy, his name is Robert Kiyosaki. He wrote this book, and it has this ESBI thing on there: employee, self-employed, business owner, and investor. This is where money is made. Now, most of us, when we come in, maybe you are employees or we're self-employed. Okay, when you go out and you write a policy, you are self-employed. You are trading time for dollars. Okay, so it's active income, and that's the left side of the quadrant. However, there is a whole nother sphere going to the right side of the quadrant where it's not active. A business owner makes his income from a system. It's system-driven income. So the system generates income for him whether he likes it or not. So let's recap here. So ESBI, right? You got your personal production. That's your paycheck. Okay, you're selling insurance. You're a small business owner or self-employed. Okay, how do we get to the business side of it in life insurance? Let me show you. Let's take your personal production and let's start building a team around this idea. The duplication part of it is what turns your solo entrepreneur business into a thriving enterprise. And now the sky is the limit. By yourself, you have 24 hours in a day. But how many times can you duplicate yourself? And how many hours in a day do you have then? It's unlimited. So if you were to get 3 other teammates and all together you're producing a certain level, I'll show that in a second. You're a sales manager. If you grow from there, you're a regional manager. And beyond that, it's easy to transition to a business where your team volume is paying you override bonuses that you don't even have to sell anymore. Your money's going to be coming in no matter what. Let me explain a little bit further. So Here's an example. Your commission level, let's say you've worked your butt off and you've grown. You went from 70 to 90. Okay, so you're more profitable. And you have a new agent that you brought on, you're training. That new agent is now 70%. Okay. The difference between you two is called a spread, and that's 20%. That means that when that agent writes a policy that gets approved, okay, the carrier's going to pay that person their full commission. We're not in the business of taking each other's commissions. They're going to get their full commission. But the carriers are also going to pay above and beyond that a 20% bonus or manager's compensation or commission to you as the manager. So you get a 20% override bonus on that person's production. What that translates to is basically this: the insurance carriers pay you handsomely to train other agents to sell their products. And you can take that idea right there, this slide right here, and you can grow it to however big of a business you want. And there literally is no cap on your income. Okay, I know agents that produce by themselves can make six, 800,000, maybe a million. It's pretty tough, but you can do it. But you're maxed out. Okay, I mean, these people are working around the clock, all the time. They've got systems in place. They probably got a team helping them, like admin and things with underwriting. Well, the way that to grow to the next level is to build a team. So you can do very well just selling life insurance, but sky's the limit, like I said, when you start building a team. So here we go, kind of a recap. Personal production, sales manager, regional manager. Beyond that, how many agents do you want on your team? There is such a hunger in our culture right now of people wanting to get out of their jobs. They're burned out. They feel like I was 5 years ago, and maybe like you are. I don't know. They feel that, and they're looking for an opportunity. And it probably doesn't occur to them that they could get a license and be a life insurance agent because that sounds boring. It did to me. I wasn't excited about it. I'm like, life insurance agent. But when they see what it does, it can change everything. And all it takes is for us. Again, we're not looking for everybody, but we are looking for the right people. Yeah, all it takes is us spreading the word. So you can reach out to people and say, hey, are you looking? Here's a video. Come check it out, just like I did. And you grow your team. Okay. You're going to grow. They're going to grow. And it's a win-win because they're going to make their commissions. You're going to make yours. You're going to start getting overrides, and they can do the same. Everything is duplicatable. Okay. I hope that makes sense. But that's moving you over to the business side, the business owner side of the cash flow quadrant. So let's take a look at the chart and see how this fares out. Well, when you hit 90% and you have team volume of 25,000 and you've got three people helping you and everybody's writing to a total amount of 25,000 2 months in a row, this may not make sense, but just trust me. It's not too hard. You can do it. Your bonus becomes $1,000 every month you do that. So Equis is going to reward you with $1,000. But why would you want to stop there, right? So let's take a look at, oh, here it is right here. Explained. Your bonus is $1,000. So let's go back and let's take a look at this level. So you continue growing, and you've got now 15 qualified unique writers. That's people writing business from their homes all across the United States. Doesn't matter where they are. And total volume of 100,000. Well, guess what happens when you do that? Your compensation now becomes $5,000 every month. That's your bonus. That's above and beyond the income you're already making from your business. Overrides, back ends, there's a lot of ways that we make money. We get raises, we get renewal commissions, production bonuses, referrals. You can refer business and get paid while somebody else does the work. You can override, managers bonuses, builders boost, and carrier incentives. The list goes on, guys. There's a lot of ways for us to make money. And once you get going, you start out with that one stream of income, just writing a policy, getting a commission. As you grow and as you build in years 2, 3, 4, 5, as you get going, your money's going to come in from a lot of different directions. Okay. So this is how that works. Hopefully that makes sense. All right. So let's take a look at the day in the life of an agent. Number one, first thing we do is we sell insurance. We protect families with one of our products, and there's so many ways that we can do that. And this is typical. Again, not required, but typical. Most agents will buy some leads. Okay, there is an investment. It's your business. You're starting this up. So yes, there's going to be some cost getting going, and leads are the almost all of the cost of getting going. There's not much else, especially if you're a virtual agent. Booking appointments. So we buy leads, we make phone calls, we schedule appointments, we write policies on those that'll let us. Okay. And we've got training for all these things for you to learn how to call, for you to learn how to schedule, for you to learn how to present, underwrite. All that is in the training. So you're going to learn exactly how to do all of this. Getting paid by the carriers. Okay. So we buy leads, book appointments, write policies, and the policy and the carriers pay us. Okay. That's the simple system. And that is, of course, the self-employed side of the cash flow quadrant. Number two, of course, this is the business owner side. We then help other people do the same. We're either selling insurance or we're helping other people sell insurance products. That's it. That's what we do. Once you get good at it, you duplicate yourself and they duplicate their self. And this is how we had world domination, whatever, right? So I hope that makes sense. So here's what an Equis partnership would look like if you decided you wanted to come join us and learn more about doing this and getting started. Leadership. Okay. We provide leadership, we provide training, we provide the products, the lead access, and the tools. Everything that you need to succeed. You just have to plug in and be willing to work. You also, and I'm going to be honest with you, you have to be willing to be uncomfortable. Okay. This business is not easy. It's simple, but it's not easy. Okay. Anything worthwhile, anything that has the potential of you making, the type of income that you can make here is going to be a difficult. It's going to be a rough road on sometimes, and sometimes it's going to be great. I mean, it's the entrepreneur's journey. And any road to success is going to be like that, whether it's in insurance or if you started a truck driving company. I don't know. You're going to have some challenges. So expect those here as well. But you've got to have the mental toughness to push through those. So that's the type of person that's going to do well, is somebody that has that long-term commitment. Your part, you have to have some technology, especially if you're a virtual agent. Nothing fancy, little camera, mic, computer setup at home. We can talk through that later, but willing to learn. You have to have the mindset and the heart of a student. Okay. You have to be willing to follow our values. We went over that. You need to show up and engage. You'd be surprised the number of agents that don't really come onto any of our trainings or any of our calls and they're expecting to be wildly successful. And it doesn't happen. You have to push yourself and show up and motivate yourself. We cannot do that for you. And then the last thing, I've got this bolded because it's super important. It's your work ethic. You have to have the drive, the desire, the work ethic. No one else can fill that spot for you. You have to do that. So you got to bring that part of it. Okay, getting started looks like this. You need to sign an ICA with the company. Myself or whatever manager invited you can send that to you. That gives you your Equis contract so that you can have your dashboard, have access to leads, have access to all of our trainings, all that stuff. That gives you open portal to everything. All those tools that I showed you earlier, pretty cool stuff. You enroll in the study course if you're not licensed. If you need to get a license, that's what your next step is, because you got to have one of these. So you go out and pass your test. The state sends you a license to do business in that state. Then you're free to license with a bunch of other states as needed. Super easy. Contracting takes a couple of weeks. That's all those carriers I showed you at the beginning. Mutual of Omaha, American Amicable, Foresters, all these people, they need to contract with you so you can write their policies. That takes a couple of weeks. It's just more paperwork. And then we do a kickoff call. So we do the sales training, a kickoff call, and that's another Zoom where we really dive in and build your game plan for you and with you and what your strategy looks like based on your schedule and what you have available. And then you start. You get in the field, you roll up your sleeves, and you get after it. And that's when the fun begins. So that's the steps of getting started. It's really not anything more complicated than that. So at this point, maybe I've scared you away. Maybe you're like, no, thank you. I'm out of here. And that's fine. Totally respect it. I'm not here to do any kind of fancy schmancy sales pitch. I'm not trying to twist any arms. We are desperately needing agents all across the country. And so if you feel like maybe there's something here, you like the vibe, maybe something I said struck a chord. I don't know. This would be a good time to get back with the person that invited you. Or if you're on my page, wherever there's a link, and I don't know where it is, but there's going to be a link to schedule a call directly where we can chat, because I'm sure you have questions. And although I have answers, I don't ever I don't ever profess to have all the answers, but I'll do my best to answer your questions. It's a conversation to just see if this is a good fit to bring you on and possibly work together. So with that, I think that's all I've got. I hope that's been helpful. I've done my best to try and not waste any time, to be efficient and give you a really good idea of what this is all about. And like I said, if you feel like there's an opportunity maybe to look into this a little bit further and possibly work together, then the next step would be to schedule a conversation and let's take a look at that. So thank you for your time. Have a wonderful day, and I look forward to possibly chatting more with you in the future. All right, take care. Bye.